Hello, we are recording now. We have with us today Elizabeth Perrie, who is running a fantastic organization that encourages entrepreneurship in women across Scotland. I'm very proud to see her today with us, and I'm sure you will enjoy the story that she has to tell us. How did you escape lockdown, Elizabeth?
First, thanks for having me. Really delighted to be here and be part of your second episode. So I think our big escape lockdown story comes right from the very start of lockdown. We had our Accelerate Her Award finals scheduled to take place in Edinburgh on the 26th of March. It was to be held at Codebase in Edinburgh. We had about 80 to 100 guests invited. We had 12 finalists ready to pitch to judges. And then about 10 days before it was due to be held, Codebase took the decision, quite rightly, to stop having external events and mass gatherings on their premises. So we had about 10 days to find a solution. The initial reaction was to postpone or cancel, but we had put so much work into it, and more to the point, the female founders that we were working with had put so much work into it that we really didn't want to. And we felt that everybody needed a good news story. So we pulled our heads together. We're a small team, a team of 4, and we managed to come up with a solution of doing it online. So we went live and delivered the finals on YouTube via Zoom. Still on the same day at the same time as it had been going to happen face to face, and our 12 finalists pitched. They all did fantastic jobs. Actually, it was a shame it had to be narrowed down to 4 winners. But we had over 500 views on YouTube of this event, which really surprised us, but also meant that people who wouldn't have otherwise seen it got to see it. So some of our finalists have had inquiries from investors in London as a result of them having seen that pitch on our YouTube channel. So we were just absolutely delighted with that. And it was a funny thing. We did have those couple of weeks where we knew something was coming, lockdown was coming, and you're thinking, what will we do? And suddenly we were forced to do it. And having spoken for probably years about becoming more digital and more online, necessity became the mother of invention, as it often does, and we just had to find out a way to do it. And I'm so glad we did. I'm so proud of the team and how they came up with the solution, but I'm equally so chuffed for our finalists who still managed to get to pitch. And it was really well received. I think everyone at the start of lockdown, understandably, so many people were cancelling their events just because they were thrown into it and didn't know what to do. So I think people were pleased that ours went ahead, that something was still happening. So we learned a lot. We learned a lot in the process.
And were there specific hurdles that you had to go over that seemed huge at the beginning, but then you managed to get on well?
Well, absolutely. So even just learning how to use YouTube. We didn't actually have a YouTube channel, so we had to set that up. And then we were doing lots of tests on YouTube. Alison and the team and I were doing lots of tests. And then YouTube decided we must be doing something dodgy because we kept broadcasting live, but we didn't have an audience. So They put a block on our account, and that was a really scary moment for us. You're relying on this, and it had been put a pause on, but it got unlocked again very quickly. And just coordinating it all for having everyone, our finalists were from all over, so arranging that we got rehearsals with them so that the tech worked and everything. I was MC for the day. I always MC the awards, and I love doing it and I really enjoy it, but it was so strange being in my dining room talking to myself on the day. And I do like to crack the odd joke, and it was strange not hearing people laugh. Of course, people maybe weren't laughing anyway, but normally if we'd been in a room together, they would at least have given me a polite laugh. But no, the biggest hurdle was definitely managing the tech and that fear of will the internet connection hold for it. Our Chief Executive Officer and founder of Investing Women she's based in Cooper, and they don't have the strongest broadband, so with things like that to worry about as well. So many things that were out with our control. I think certainly myself and the team aged about 5 years that week.
And what was the reaction of the award winners? Were they intimidated by this? Were they, because they should be kind of entrepreneurial in spirit?
Yes, they certainly, on the surface to me, they seem to take it in their stride.
Well,
Many of them much younger than myself, so I think there's a certain age where these things are just quite natural to you. So many of them took it in their stride and were able to share their screen to show their slides and really get a good rapport with the judges in answering their questions, because we had our three judges online as well asking questions, and yeah, they all did really superbly well.
well, congratulations to all of them, because it must have been really challenging to do it on top of the nerve of their own pitch, to do it in an unfamiliar territory.
Yeah.
And do you have any story about their specific entrepreneurial ventures? Was there any of those related to the digital world?
So we they kind of all are, because we have a tech focus in the companies that we work with, and we had 4 categories in the awards. We had fintech and cybersecurity, clean tech and climate change, disruptive innovation, and my mind has gone completely blank, medtech and science. I knew there was a 4th one. Interestingly, the disruptive innovation was full of a lot of creative industries entries.
All right.
So the winner was Tertia Wills, who does her company Terrible Merch, does merchandising for bands. And one of the other finalists was music licenses for performance sports. So, interesting trend to see there. But yeah, so they all have that sort of digital or tech, I should say, tech focus.
Well, I hope they will be listening to this interview and congratulating you for this.
And I have to say, they've all done really well since then as well. Four of our Accelerate Her finalists now have been awarded Innovate UK funding for COVID-19 projects. So we're just delighted for them. They're an outstanding bunch of ladies, I will say.
Fantastic that they did. Well, thank you very much, Elizabeth, for sharing your story with us today. It's been great fun having you here, and hopefully people will join for the next episodes of Escaping Lockdown. Thank you very much.